Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to share with you some of the books that I've been reading this past month. This is going to be just a short little video of some of the books that I read this month. I just want to give you my thoughts on some of them and kind of give you my ratings. If you want to see more book content from me, please give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. I was able to read 4 books this month, which is a huge personal record. I've never been able to hit that many in a month. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started in the first book. The first book that I have is Every Summer After. So this one was a pick from one of my coworkers. I have a book club that we do at work, which we've been using Fable to kind of talk about the book and discuss some of the things that we've liked or enjoyed or have not liked in the book. So that's been really helpful. Without giving away too much, I did enjoy this book a lot. I'm giving this one a 4 stars only because I was able to predict a lot of it, which honestly at the time, this book was what I needed. I really didn't want something that I really had to think about, but I highly recommend this one. It's a very cute summer read, and honestly I needed this kind of romance in my life at the time, so I really enjoyed this. If I could give it like a 4.5 on Goodreads, I would, which by the way, I will link my Goodreads down below if you wanted to follow me on that. I will follow anyone who follows me on there. It's kind of nice kind of seeing everyone's books that they've read and what they've rated them. So in this book, you're following Percy, who over 6 years goes to this home during the summer with her family, and she has a strong connection with one of the characters, Sam, which you kind of get to see how their friendship has developed over the years, but also it's between then and now. So I really like that it did that in this book. So you kind of get to see their relationship then and their relationship now. But if that's something that you're interested in, I highly recommend this book. The second book that I read was Out of Love, which by the way, I read while at the pool and it was dang hot. So the pages kind of came out from the binding because of the glue. So I highly recommend not reading it in the sun. With that being said, I would probably give this book maybe a 2.5 to 2.5. I didn't quite love it. I loved the concept of it, of starting from the breakup and then going backwards in time to kind of see what caused the breakup. However, I feel like the story kind of lost its message along the way, so it's not really my favorite book that I've read. I was really hoping that I would like this book because of the concept, but because it kind of, I feel like, lost its messaging a little bit along the way, I couldn't really give it that high of a rating. It had potential, and I feel like at one point I was starting to get invested in it, but it went a totally different turn that I did not expect, which, I mean, some people might love, but again, I just feel like it was the messaging that kind of got lost or kind of didn't know where it was going, which I'm sorry if that's being really harsh on this book. I will say at the beginning, I did relate to the main character for a moment, just because it was kind of funny, the things that she was doing for her Instagram and stuff like that. Oh God. Okay. So the main character was relatable for me in the beginning, but yeah, over time, I just kind of felt like, all right, what does this have to do with the story? Or what does that have to do with the story? I'm a little lost and confused. Don't take my word for it. I say still give books a try. I don't feel like you should always take someone's word for it. I just had such high hopes, and I'm just so sad that this one didn't live up to them, but that's okay. Not every book has to live up to your expectations. Sometimes you can just read a book and just read a book. But I also felt like this just didn't have much of an impact for me. Who knows, maybe it was different for you. If it was and you've read this, please let me know like how you felt about the book. I'm kind of curious, but yeah, just not my favorite. So the next book that I read was Love on the Brain. Absolutely loved this book, which I haven't read Love Hypothesis yet. I plan on reading that one soon, not next, but soon. But I really enjoyed this one. If you're looking for a good, nice, just love story and just something that's like a feel-good almost, like I'm sure you've seen people talk about it already, but I really enjoyed this one. So you're following Bee, who is a neurologist who gets signed on with NASA to help with building these helmets. Meanwhile, she is set up to work with an old schoolmate that I guess didn't like her. books, you kind of get to see, I don't want to give too much away on this book because it's just so good that I feel like everyone should just read it. You get to see like how everything happened and why she felt like he hated her, which Levi is the love interest, by the way. I don't know, I really love this book. I highly recommend this one. I give it a 5 stars just because, actually I gave it a 4-star on Goodreads because I feel like there's so much room for growth with some of the new books that she's put out there, so I didn't want to just give it a 5-star. Although I will say, giving it its own rating, I would give it a 5-star, but if I'm like kind of comparing it to the things I've heard about the other two, then I give it a 4-star. I really enjoyed this book. Really good feel-good book. If you're just looking for something to just chill out to, I highly recommend giving this one a try. The last book that I got to read this month was Wayward. Absolutely loved this book. I'm giving it a 5 stars. I love that you're following 3 different perspectives throughout the entire book. I also love that it's during 3 different time periods, so that was really fun. So the 3 main characters are Altha, Violet, and Kate. You kind of get to see how their stories are intertwined, and also just it's a really good empowering book if you're looking for something with some woman empowerment. Highly recommend this. I really enjoyed it, and honestly it was recommended to me by one of my managers, so thank you to Amy for suggesting this. I absolutely enjoyed this. I just felt like it was something that I absolutely needed right now, but overall I really enjoyed this book. It's definitely different from a lot of the things that I normally read, which normally I read a lot of romance, but I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone a little bit more, and so this I really enjoyed. I feel like I have to read romance, something different, romance. The romance keeps me going. I don't know if this helps anyone else, but if you're trying to dabble in other books or other kind of genres, I highly recommend doing that, sticking with something that you really enjoy and you enjoy, and then switching to something that you might not usually dabble into. But I highly recommend this. I loved it. And with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. If you really enjoyed this, I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of these books. I hope you have a good day. Bye guys.